All right, guys. Next thing I want to discuss is the problem of your opponent's second leg, and I think that this is something that people have become much more aware of thanks to the success and the pretty staggering success, actually, of the Renzo Gracie team, John Danaher's coaching system, and the understanding of the importance of your opponent's free leg in his defense for leg attacks in particular, but frankly, all sorts of things. And if we come back. What I want to discuss in the 50-50 is, let's go left side if you don't mind. This is not Adam's only source of defense by any stretch of the imagination, but it is definitely a significant one. And when his feet connect, it takes a lot of my resources offensively to start to get them apart if I approach it directly. And again, this is what I would have been doing in years past, trying to like swim the leg and doing all that. It's not wrong. It obviously works to a certain extent, but dropping your arms in here, if you scissor your legs strong, you can get them caught by people who are long, and it can be annoying. It's not the end of the world, but it can be definitely a little bit annoying. Spending a lot of time trying to dig under is not necessarily, in my opinion, the way to go about this. But something, if you deep triangle, please. Separating and crossing the legs is a nice thing when you can get it. But this is the type of situation that we're looking for, the ability to remove this leg from the equation one way or another inside of the 50-50. And that's why finishing from not in front but behind your opponent is ideal, because it actually makes very, very simple the process of doing this. So I just want you guys to understand that a lot of your problems, and this has been explained elsewhere before, and this is very true if we find ourselves inside of saddle, is that a lot of his defense comes from this leg, whether it's standing up, kicking, crossing his feet, you name it. Just get that involved over here and start to bother. It can be a huge pain, and that's why people initially started passing the leg so they could get at the original. They could tie it up so they could get at the original, but making sure that you're keeping in mind the source of your opponent's strength is very, very important. So if Adam comes up and he's based, this leg isn't involved by its nature from a covering and protective perspective, but it is involved from a stability perspective. That leg is allowing Adam to be heavy on this foot. So I'm like, man, moving this thing is no picnic. If you sit down on your butt, please, immediately his weight comes off and I can move his foot, I can adjust, I can put it to this side, I can put it to the other side, depending upon the direction that you want to go with your offense. And when you're seated, your leg is principally going to be covering, or their defensive leg is principally going to be covering the offensive or the threatened one, so please. When they stand, this leg is going to go where? It's going to go far away, but his weight and pressure down on his foot is what allows him to be successfully defensively sound in spite of his limbs not protecting one another. Now, when Adam presses his knee in and softens his front knee, when he gets in a lot of trouble is when he gets caught. He gets stuck in a situation where he's seated on his butt, but this leg is unable to help. Now, again, this is just meant to put into perspective almost everything we do going forward, whether it's spinning through and getting the leg out of the way, crossing the legs over, just a block. Do you feel torque?
Yes.
I need to be able to utilize my other resources other than the catch for the finish, particularly in my legs, to start to tangle up his in a way that would be similar to how you might effectively do it in the saddle or elsewhere, stopping him from getting his free leg involved as best I can while still creating torque. So as we move forward, just keep in mind that this leg, this second one that's meant to protect, this one is something that you're going to want to be giving a significant amount of your attention and focus on as you're looking for the finish.